Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of our new launch review, and today we'll be talking about a highly anticipated but slightly different from the conventional new launches, and this is Aurelle of Tampines, which is an executive condominium. I'll keep this video very short and will only be highlighting a couple of extremely important pointers to take note if you are considering an executive condo, including whether to take the normal payment or the deferred payment scheme and how to utilize the bridging loan facility. Before we proceed any further, if you are constantly on the lookout for the best property deals, fire sales, or latest price lists for all new launches, do subscribe to my SG Property Lobang channel where I'll usually share these updates with my subscribers. Of course, if you also have any questions regarding which is the best layout, what is the safe entry price, and why Aurelle will be a highly sought after development, do reach out to me privately and I'll be happy to do a full presentation on that. And without much further ado, let's jump right into the important pointers. Number 1. Normal payment versus the deferred payment scheme. So please do not buy an EC without knowing what's the difference between a normal payment and the deferred payment, because this will potentially cause you to cough up hundreds of thousands in cash down payment. I can safely say that more than half of all the agents would not know this. So if you want to know whether your agent is familiar with ECs, ask them to explain the difference between the normal payment and deferred payment scheme to you. So what is the difference between the normal payment and the deferred payment scheme? Irregardless of either payment scheme, you minimally still need the 20% down payment plus buyer's stamp duty. The deferred payment does not mean you defer the 15% after the 5% booking fee. Bridging loan does not allow you to bridge this portion of the purchase price. If you do not have the 20% down payment, you would have to sell your current HDB first. For the normal payment scheme, you will follow the normal new launch progressive payments, such that when the foundation is caught, your monthly mortgage will start to kick in. For deferred payment, after the 20% initial down payment, the remaining 80% is only payable upon TOP, which is about 3 to 4 years later. And because during this period of time, you're saving on the interest payable to the banks, the developer will actually charge a 3 to 4% premium on the purchase price as compared to the normal payment scheme. The next common questions that I get is whether this 3 to 4% premium is really worth it. In my opinion, yes, because you do not have to service two mortgages at the same time if you currently own a HDB. At the same time, you are also able to build up your CPF OA and cash savings. Second, DPS does not automatically mean that you defer your income loan assessment. Whether your income is assessed now or closer to TOP depends on whether you are touching your CPF funds for the 15% down payment. If yes, then before you are able to even touch your CPF funds, the lawyers will have to see your loan offer. Here's the issue. Most buyers will have a loan shortfall because we are using the mortgage servicing ratio instead of the total debt servicing ratio. A max income of $16,000 and a 30 years loan tenure will only amount to a $1 million loan. If this is 75%, your purchase price will only amount to about $1.3 million, which cannot get you anything in Aurelle or even the other upcoming ECs such as Auto and the one in Jalan Loyang Besar. Given this loan shortfall, you might potentially be unable to use your current CPF for the 15% down payment and have to use full cash instead. Again, this is because MAS guidelines stipulates this order of payment: cash, CPF, then loan. So if we had used CPF for the 15% down payment and subsequently realized that there is a loan shortfall, we are unable to top up the shortfall in cash. What we can only do is to top up the cash into our CPF for the shortfall. Hence, before any CPF funds can be utilized, the lawyers, or rather CPF, will have to see your loan offer and earmark your CPF funds accordingly. If you are confused, this example will give you a lot more clarity. Assuming a couple, both age 35, without an existing HDB, and they have about 200,000 in their OA. With a combined income of about 13,000, their max loan will be slightly less than 800,000. If they are going for a 3-bed plus study under the deferred payment, the purchase price will be around $1.5 million, and 75% loan would mean 1.125. Given that their loan is only 800,000, there will be a shortfall of about 325,000. Following the MAS order of payment, cash, CPF, and loan, working backwards, many clients will assume that okay, the 15% I will actually offset from my 200,000 which is in my OA. So my total cash outlay will be the 5% down payment, which is 75,000, plus stamp duty of 44,600, and a 225,000 minus 200,000 in my OA, which amounts to around 144,000. But no, remember that we had a loan shortfall of 325,000. The current OA amount of 200,000 will actually be earmarked by the lawyers for this shortfall. so the entire sum cannot be used for your 15% down payment. Instead of the 144,000 in down payment cash, it now becomes a cash outlay of 344,000. So you must have this amount, if not you will not be able to complete the purchase in about 9 to 10 weeks after the booking day. This is why I always advise my clients who are first timers that the only way is to down pay 20% in full cash, usually of course with the help of their parents. If this 20% is in full cash, there will be no need to present your loan offer, and you can defer your income assessment all the way till 6 months before the TOP. By then, your income would have increased, allowing you to have a higher loan quantum. However, given the same scenario, but this time the client owns an existing 4-room HDB, he is able to utilize the deferred bridging loan facility to bridge this shortfall in the loan. So these 3 banks actually offer you a deferred bridging loan. However, we usually go with OCBC because it's the most straightforward. Assuming a HDB sales price of about 800,000, OCBC will actually take 85% of the value, which is about 680,000, less your outstanding loan, assuming 300,000. This amounts to around 380,000 of bridging loan. We can then use this bridging loan to show the lawyers that we are able to bridge the loan shortfall so that our CPF OA will not be earmarked. As such, the 200k in your OA can be used for your 15% down payment. There are, however, some restrictions that come along in applying for the deferred bridging loan facility. Number 1, you must purchase your EC under the deferred payment scheme. Number 2, this loan facility must be applied with your main housing loan but can also be cancelled if subsequently you do not need it before TOP. Lastly, you must sell your house 6 months before TOP. So that's it for this episode. It's very short and concise but very important if you are using your CPF for the 15% down payment. If you still have any questions regarding your EC eligibility or financing, do reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to guide you through the entire process. Not many agents are familiar with the EC regulations and calculations because they are confusing, complicated, and more importantly, low paying. In my past 4 years, I've assisted many of my fellow colleagues in their closings and transacted more than $18.3 million worth of executive condominiums till today. I'm a super firm believer of executive condominiums given their strong track record and growth. Once again, this is Dexter, your preferred Gen Z realtor. If you found this video helpful or know of someone who will benefit from this, do help me to like, share and subscribe. I'll see you in the next episode.